Let's for our viewers and listeners out there on the different outlets, I wanted to first maybe make a brief introduction on how the concept of Talking Dreads with your band, and how did you develop it, and it's a big success now.
Uh, how I developed the idea of Talking Dreads while I was on tour, singing as a one of the singers for the Tom Tom Club,
Okay.
and I've watched the offers came in. I watched the suggestions came in, and Chris and Tina would always be open to the idea of a Talking Heads reunion,
Yeah.
but it could never happen. So therefore, I wanted to happen so bad. I wanted
Yeah.
to be there for that Talking Heads
Yeah.
reunion. I want to be there. I want to be that. Even if I'm not singing with them, I want to be backstage working with
Yeah.
them. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I was all pumped about it, and then I got disappointed when I realized it's not gonna happen. So
Yeah.
I got inspired. Thanks to that disappointment, I got inspired. I'm already on tour with members of Talking Heads,
Right.
singing with them,
Yeah.
playing music with them.
Mm-hmm.
So the inspiration came about. Why don't I, who is already a fan and a member of the group, basically,
Right.
re-record my interpretation of their Talking Head songs
Right.
in my genre, reggae.
Right.
So that's what I did. I came up with the idea and I started sketching out ideas on paper.
Mm-hmm.
I started sketching out drum beats in my head. And I brought the idea to Chris and Tina while I was on tour. What do you think about me recording Talking Heads music in reggae? We're going to call it Talking Dreads.
Right.
And they both 100% said yes,
Wow.
instantly. No questions asked. And there were no pushback. And then I wanted to also legitimize the whole idea of it and make sure nobody was disrespected. So I
Mm-hmm.
couldn't get a hold of David. So I got a hold of Seymour Stein, who was the first person to sign Talking Heads.
Oh, okay.
So I got a hold of Seymour Stein. I went and met with him at his studio in New York, at the Warner Brothers Studios, and told him of my idea.
Right.
And he laughed. He said, "Why the hell didn't I think of that?" He said, "This is an amazing idea. You should
Right.
definitely do it." I said, "Well, I'll do it, but I'm gonna need your blessing on this one."
Mm-hmm.
And he said, "You'll have my blessing if you do me one thing." I said, "What is that?" He said, "You have to put this one song in it for me.
Ah.
Love Goes to Building on Fire."
Oh, okay. That was
So
that's
Seymour
his
Stein
favorite.
actually
Yeah.
chose that song for the recording project.
Oh, wow. So Seymour Stein, his affiliation with Talking Heads, what exactly is it?
Seymour Stein, he was the founder and
Okay.
only owner of Sawyer Records.
Oh, okay.
He was the one who was walking by CBGBs and heard that crazy music playing inside, walked in and signed, asked them, "Who are these kids?"
Yeah.
And they said, "Well, they call themselves Talking Heads." And he literally called them and offered them a deal right away.
Wow.
He's literally discovered, signed Talking Heads, the Ramones, and the list goes on. Then
Yeah.
from Sawyer Records, he branched out to become the president of Warner Brother Records, of Warner Records.
Mhm.
And he was with Warner Records till the day he passed away. So, what had happened is I went to Jamaica. One was to legitimize what I was doing with this recording.
Right.
Talking Heads already wrote their part, their songs. I then want to legitimize what I was doing with it. I want to make my rendition, not a cover per se.
Right.
I didn't want to just record it identically as Talking Heads did it.
Mhm.
I wanted was to do a reggae version, Mystic Bowie's version.
Yeah.
So I called up a couple of friends of mine. One of them were Mike Keisha. The late Mike Keisha was the manager for Toots and the Maytals and a Yellow Man, and the list goes on at the time.
Right.
And Mike had mentioned to me, because I was already kind of getting together and rehearsing the idea of Talking Dreads with a group of musicians from Boston. He said, no. He said, you can use them as the touring musicians. But he said, if you're going to record this, you want to take it to Jamaica. And you want to make sure you have real seasoned Jamaican studio musicians play on this record.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. Yeah.
So that's what I did. I took his advice, and needless to say, the musicians from Boston, when I mentioned the idea to them, I'm like, well, you're gonna be the person making the money of this with me
Right.
from the live shows.
Right. Right.
You know, but I need to take this song to Jamaica based on good advice, record it there with these musicians. We're talking about Sly Dunbar, Robbie Shakespeare, Robbie Lynn.
Wow.
I'm talking about all these legends.
Yeah.
You know, like, how can you, not want to support this, this idea? And they got upset and they quit. So I said, okay, I'm on my own. Went to Jamaica and called up a friend of mine turned out to be the co-producer and the guitar player on the record. His name is Lincoln Thomas. Burning down the house.
Okay.
And then we call Fraser, the legendary sax player, Dean Fraser, who called his horn team
Okay.
into the studio. Engineer Barry O'Hare, studio was booked in Ocho Rios. And we went there. Then they called in Beres Hammond's bass player, Trevor McKenzie,
Okay.
whose brother, Rupert McKenzie, is Talking Dreads' current and always bass player.
Right. Right. Yeah. Energetic too.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So, and then it goes from there. So now we're in Jamaica. They call this young man Bowie, who used to be the music arranger and keyboard player for the Marley's Kids. He jumped in on keyboard, then Congo Billy jumped in on percussion, and they just keep getting bigger and bigger. And then we call Kurt Bennett, who jump in on some of the drums. Then we have another set of the song with Sly and Robbie. And it was just becoming this amazing all-star cast of recording and touring musicians and engineer in the same studio. Then we have Ernest Ranglin, legendary guitar player. Ernest Ranglin came in and played on a couple of songs, Psycho Killer and Burning Down the House. It was just simply amazing. And then during that process, there were some miracles that were happening. And when I say miracle that were happening, I would record ideas. We'd record ideas in the studio. Because what we also did, because we want to keep it more like a tight-knit family. Right. So there would be no tension and everybody would be relaxed with each other. So we brought in one of the engineers that worked on this project was Stephen Stanley. Okay. Who actually was a Tom Tom Club's original studio engineer back in the early days. Wow. He recorded Where the Rapping Hood, Genius of Love, and all those songs. So we brought everybody in the studio.